guys, how's it going? My name is Dal. In today's video, we'll discuss an interview with the lead game designer of Morgan Day, where they went a little bit more in depth about patch 9.2. In this interview, a lot of different systems got discussed for the next patch, the Cypher, Xerath Mortis, and how it'll be a lot more old-friendly. They also talked about gearing in patch 9.2. Gearing is especially exciting in this update because tier sets are returning, some of the players have been waiting for a while, and some of their effects are very powerful. But also you'll be able to use 2 legendaries to augment your character in a variety of different ways. They also talked about how we'll go about gearing our alt characters and variety of different methods in order to catch up as well. I wanted to talk about the gearing aspects of this interview with you guys today, at least what is planned by the developers themselves currently for patch 9.2. Primarily about the acquisition of tier sets and how will they work, as well as catch-up gear for alt characters. But first, most of you guys watching these videos are still not subscribed. If you're watching these videos anyway, you might as well hit subscribe as well as hit the bell, especially if you want to see more patch 9.2 updates or even potentially future WoW expansion announcements. If you want to watch the full interview and get a more detailed version, I will have the link to the original livestream in the description of this video, but if you just want the important tidbits, this video will cover everything you need. There will be some catch-up gear with Xerath Mortis, the new zone added in 9.2. From rares and treasures, you'll be able to get gear from the interview by the sound of things of item level up to 249. There'll be some harder zones to explore in Xerath Mortis, and by progressing through Cypher of the First Ones, which is the new system added in 9.2, you'll be able to unlock more areas and explore further in Xerath Mortis, unlock harder challenging content, and most likely, as you get towards more challenging enemies, they'll probably drop better gear. To me, it sounds like the Cypher of the First Ones will be a great progression system for players that want to do solo content that don't necessarily like doing group stuff. There was an important moment in the interview where Morgan Day mentioned that raiders should be able to mostly ignore the Cypher of the First Ones, as no raid player power will be bound to it. Taking a look at some of the 9.2 earlier announcements, it mentioned that the Cypher might be used for crafting double legendaries, or even be able to craft tier sets going forward. Once 9.2 is available for PTR testing, the picture will be a little bit more clear, but just be aware that there is a little bit of discrepancy between the interview and the early information. Maybe there was some change in the actual systems of Blizzard, and maybe the double legendary is no longer tied to the Cypher of the First Ones. In 9.2, they will be adding a new currency called Cosmic Flux. It'll be a currency very similar to Echoes of Ny'alotha of Battle for Azeroth, which means it can be earned from all kinds of content: raiding, mythic buses, PvP, world quests, Torghast, whatever you want to play. You'll be able to use this currency for a variety of things, but the most important one will be the crafting and creation of your tier sets. Through the creation catalyst, whatever that is, you'll be able to spend this currency to upgrade your pieces of gear into tier sets. Your gear will be transformed into a tier set. That means if, let's say, your current chest piece is Crit Mastery, when you transform it into a tier set, that tier set could potentially become Haste Versatility, because all those tier sets will have predetermined secondary stats. These tier sets will work everywhere, whether you want to PvE or PvP. So in battlegrounds, arenas, mythic buses, raids, world quests, Torghast, the tier sets will be active everywhere in the game. When it comes to the acquisition of these tier sets, it sounds like you'll be able to get them pretty early on through raiding, and you'll be able to acquire them through other bits of content as you unlock the different parts of Xerath Mortis, and you'll unlock a facility in order to be able to facilitate the creation of tier sets. If you are a solo player, it should be noted, it might be possible to create tier sets through solo gameplay. Not confirmed because we don't have PTR to test this with, but you can earn Cosmic Flux through World Quest and Torghast, which you can do by yourself. So if you have enough of that currency, you might be able to upgrade your whatever gear you get from World Quest into tier sets without ever having to step a foot inside of a group dungeon, a group raid, or a group PvP experience. If confirmed, then Blizzard really gives you the freedom of gearing out your character anytime you want to, in any way you want to. Whether you're someone who wants to get into the group content and push keys and get really sweaty, or someone who plays the game more casually but still wants that player progression. We also got more updates for Legendaries in patch 9.2. We will be able to upgrade our current Legendaries to our rank 7 with Cosmic Flux, which, as we talked earlier, comes from all kinds of content. You will still need to create a base rank 6 version of a Legendary that you do want to upgrade. There was a little bit of confusion online, so I wanted to mention it here. From the sound of things between the interview and the previous information, you will still need to do Torghast to create your legendary up to rank 6 or below. But upgrading a legendary from rank 6 to rank 7, you will no longer need to do Torghast whatsoever. Unless of course they want to change it, and I think the best way of going about it, if they were to change it, just a suggestion, what if they replace Soul Ash and Soul Cinders with Cosmic Flux as the new currency to craft legendaries in general? So this way you'll be able to literally make your rank 6 and 5 legendaries without actually having to do any Torghast. We'll have to update you guys as soon as we know more. We'll be able to earn the double legendaries with the Enlightened Brokers of Xerath Mortis. As we befriend them, they will allow us to be able to craft a rune carving effect that changes depending on our covenant. Every character will be granted a belt item as a catch-up mechanism that will have a legendary effect slotted in. It'll look like part of the rating set, and it'll have a legendary effect that changes depending on your covenant, always displaying your covenant's legendary effect. So if you are a Night Fae, it will have the Night Fae legendary effect active. If you go to Oribos and switch to Kyrian, it'll change the effect to Kyrian. This legendary item with a special effect will be originally on a belt slot. So if let's say you're a new character coming into 9.2, or if you're trying to gear an alt that needs a bit of item level, it should hopefully bolster that character a little bit. However, this special legendary effect doesn't always need to stay on your belt. Blizzard did note that you will be able to switch and choose where this covenant swapping legendary effect will be on your character's gear. For example, what if the new raid comes with an awesome looking belt, but also has great secondary stats that fit your character perfectly? You'll be able to choose another set of gear that you'll imbue with this legendary effect, so you can itemize your character better. At some point in the future, Blizzard is considering moving away from strictly personal loot. That means giving the players the opportunity to play with Master Looter if, let's say, the raid group chooses to do so. This will give players a lot easier time to itemize their characters and upgrade their gear and get different upgrades that benefit the raid rather than the person. For now, they're looking at potentially adding Master Looter or another system besides personal loot, whatever it may be, in as an expansion feature following Shadowlands. I do hope that they reconsider and maybe try to implement Master Looter early, at least at some point in patch 9.2, maybe when like a 9.2.5 catch-up mechanism comes out. But it's good that at least they're heading back into that direction. Master Looter is something that would help so many guilds gear out the raiders, where they could gear for the raid rather than for the individual. It's just a much needed quality of life change that should return to the game, and I very much hope they consider bringing it back for maybe even patch 9.2. It should also be mentioned that a lot of the stuff that talked about, the tier sets, legendaries, systems, catch-up gear, a lot of it comes with an alt-friendly spin. And I think this is good, especially since this will be the final patch of the expansion. With so many players gearing characters for 9.1.5, you're probably going to want to take those alts into 9.2, and the earlier you can catch up with all the 9.2 stuff and get ready to play the endgame content, the better. So doing everything with an alt-friendly spin from the start will just make the whole experience much better. But this is what we have so far about their plans for gearing in 9.2. So far, it sounds amazing on paper. I just hope they can deliver. I'm very excited to test some of the different tier sets, legendaries, and hopefully all that stuff will come with the tuning that's necessary for classes just to make sure that everybody is balanced and everybody's feeling powerful. And as always, thank you guys so much for checking out this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you guys liked this video or found it informative, give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. And if you guys want to let me know your thoughts in the comments or hit me up directly on Discord, link in the description of every single video for you guys to join the community. That's probably the best place to reach me at all hours of the day. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see all of you in the next one.